You just free balling or you got a screen up in front of you?
I have two monitors.
Oh, fancy pants, huh?
Yeah, I got
That's a
a.
hardcore gamer right now. First of all, top of the show, welcome back. Cody Hooper is in the building. We have a new name for the show. Did you know that?
I actually did not know that.
It's no longer called the Bets. It is. You know what that is?
No.
Read between the lines, baby.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I was like, that looks like a kid trying to flip me off at the playground.
Read between the lines. Tell me that's not a good name for a betting show.
That is incredible. That's fire. It's better than just the bets. It's outstanding.
Yeah, the Bets is bad. That's too on the nose, you know?
It is
I mean,
pretty
that
on the
is the
nose.
most like starter name for a betting show is the bets. What was I thinking with that?
Hey, we had to get started somewhere, you know?
Top of the show, I did want to plug you for a sec, man. We never do this, but you've been popping off on the TikTok back at it, gaming hard, son. You were playing what, League of Legends the other day?
Yeah, I appreciate the shout out. I stream every now and again, and yeah, League of Legends, all kinds of different games.
I'll be honest, I never played it. I was so confused. That's one of those games that freaking throws me for a loop. I know nothing. But I know that it's a very popular game, and you can make some walla playing that one. I think they have some pretty big tournaments.
They do, they do. I'm not good enough to do that because I'm fucking 30 years old, but the kids are loving it.
Mm. Well, you know what we are good enough to do? That's spend recklessly on betting websites, pretending like we know what we're talking about. Half the time we do. The rest of the time we're just having fun. And this week's no different. Sean O'Malley versus Marab Dvalishvili, a rematch for the ages. Gone a little bit under the radar, don't you think?
Oh, 100%. This fight's getting less than no hype.
Yeah. And I actually think there's a pretty good story here. I mean, Merab Dvalishvili on a 12 fight win streak, has looked unstoppable. But there's always that redemption arc. There's a redemption arc that Sean O'Malley can take advantage of this weekend. We've seen it before with the likes of Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya, Leon Edwards over Kamaru Usman. Some of the greatest moments in sports come from behind, comes from that underdog. And Sean O'Malley's no different this weekend. Plus 230 to Merab Dvalishvili, minus 285. Tell me what you're thinking, man. Is this too big of a step up for not maybe not too big of a step up? That's the wrong way to put it, but is it too big of a hurdle for Sean O'Malley to get through? Or do you think he can connect something that puts a damper on the machine?
It's definitely a huge fight. A lot of people, Vegas included, just to have Sean O'Malley absolutely not doing anything in this fight, and I don't really disagree with them. It's a huge fight. Sean's always struggled with wrestlers, but Brett, is he not who he is? Is he not a superstar? Do you not
The
believe?
goddamn best in the business. Bro, I'm
The
wearing a Sugar Sean shirt. I've been telling everybody all week I'm biased, man. I am biased and I'm riding. And and there's a couple of things about Sean O'Malley, and even in the first Marab fight, first of all, he didn't really of the Marab fights that we've had. Honestly, Sean O'Malley played better than a lot of the guys as of recent. Piotr Jan got blown the fuck out, 5 rounds to none. By the third, fourth, and fifth round, Umar Nurmagomedov, a fantastic fight, high pace, high pressure, fun. But Umar was a dead man walking. Sean O'Malley won the fifth round. I've been looking at that and I've just been thinking about that. He won the fifth round. Like you think about it, if you ask anybody, you go, if this fight goes long, Sean's probably fucked. Yes, they said it before the first one. They said it before the second one. Sean won the fifth round.
he did.
So, I mean, I think his cardio is actually underrated. I mean, this is a guy that's got some of the highest striking differentials in the UFC, definitely in the bantamweight division, but you do got to give it to Marab, a bad motherfucker. And if he just does the same thing he did the first fight, where he can pick up some big rounds, get him down on the ground, not let him back up, use that pressure, could be tough sledding for Sugar Sean O'Malley. But me personally, I'm a rider, baby. Give me plus 230 on Sean O'Malley. I'll take that all fucking day. You're lucky I'm not taking him by knockout. You are lucky I'm not taking him by knockout right here. What you got?
That's a crazy, luck. I mean, it's plus 600 KO TKO, or no, plus 450 KO TKO. That's a crazy number. Two big things I want to hit on here. Obviously, Sean O'Malley's labrum tear in his hip. Having torn my labrum before, that shit fucking sucks.
In your
Um,
hip?
no, that's my shoulder, but it's a
Yeah.
labrum.
I
Labrum.
always I always put it to shoulder, but I just learned that it also is in your hip. Makes sense.
Yeah, I was doing far too much research on what hip labrum does today, just like I'm a fucking doctor. It makes it
Yeah,
pretty difficult to spraw when you have a torn labrum in your hip, and just makes it really difficult to wrestle in general. A
yeah,
second thing is if I'm a Sean O'Malley dick rider, so I've just spent a tremendous amount of time listening to his podcast and following his training. He did do like a pretend hyped walkout earlier this week, and made it as close to as similar as
I
he
saw
could
that.
with the Marab stuff and things like that. I think Sean has a much better chance in this fight. He said he didn't believe he could win before the last fight. All that's great and dandy. Uh, it hurts me to do this,
Oh, here we go. What the fuck are you about
but
to say after
my
that?
record
After that
on
build
this
up,
show is phenomenal. I
dude.
picked
Fuck a record, brother.
phenomenally. Give me Murad Dvalishvili minus 165 by decision. After this
Oh,
fight, I think Suge
I
moves back
fucking
up,
hate you.
or I think he moves up to 145. I think it's a much easier weight class for him. I think he has great success at 145 and doesn't have to cut near as much weight.
I looked at that. Obviously, you consider both options. Is there anybody at 145 you're like, I'd love this fight for Sean O'Malley?
I don't think there's very many people at 145 that I don't love the fight for Sean O'Malley. I mean,
Yeah,
that weight class is absolutely loaded with awesome strikers. The level of wrestling just goes down tremendously. I mean, give
yeah.
me Diego, give me Yair, give me Volk, give me whoever.
I
That
threw
fight,
out
winning
Max
this fight's pretty
Holloway.
awesome.
I know he's hardly 145, but I just think that would be a super fun fight when you're talking about striking differentials. It's those two guys. I mean, those two guys are holding the top of the record book in a lot of places. So I threw out Max Holloway, but there is a ton of fun fights at 145 for him. Not going to be the case though, because he's going to run through Marab like a fucking savage, put his lights out, and then I think it's probably going to be Piotr Jan next. Give him Corey Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov. Doesn't matter. You're who you say you are, a motherfucking superstar, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna be rooting for Sean that night. I'm obviously super biased. I don't
I don't
necessarily
know how
see
you
how he
do
gets it.
that.
I don't. I
This is why I'm bad at betting. I can't do, I physically cannot do that. I told my buddy earlier this week, I was like, you're riding with Sean, right? He's like, I don't know. Marab's a dog. I was like, you are rooting for the enemy. I mean, this is like, this is America versus China right now, and you're on the Chinese side, son. No shot.
Oh man, DraftKings has enough money. They don't need my money too.
Yeah, I mean, fuck me. I don't care about my record. I am all heart here. That is what I'm
I
riding
love it.
with. But I do think, truthfully, heart of heart, I think that he was one round away the first time. I know, say what you want about how that first one fight went on the judges' scorecard, one round away. And I think winning the fifth is in Merab's 12 fight win streak, he has not lost a final round until Sean O'Malley. I think that's a big statement. I think that's something that Sean can take and be like, okay, through 5 rounds, I can run with this guy. Um, all I got to do is pick up one or two. Those are the two rounds that he lost.
Hmm.
Not that it's going to be the exact same fight, not that, but I always think there's a chance that he puts his lights out. We've seen Marab get hurt before. Um, Umar had some good shots on him. Henry Cejudo dropped him. Um, Tons of other cases. I think Sean O'Malley's going to be able to find the chin.
I
But
hope so.
I guess I'm alone. I guess I'm alone
I
here.
hope so. I was listening to Superstar all day. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and then I just couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger.
Minus 285. You think it goes to the decision?
Yeah, I have Marab minus 165 by decision. Sean's not getting finished. Marab doesn't have that much power. I don't see,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't see it going anyway but Marab decision unless Suge knocks him out.
Yeah. I actually think you can win decision. But this is me. I'm full dick ride, dog. I'm all on I'm bouncing up and down on
Hey,
that thing, dog.
that's why we work
I think
together, you know?
I think you can win a decision. Again, I'll keep coming back to it one round away. That's what I've been telling myself. Juliana Pena, Kayla Harrison, probably I'm really excited for the press conference here because these two ladies have been chopping it up, talking shit. Juliana Pena, a dog of dogs, has, of course, kind of known for her win over Amanda Nunes. Kayla Harrison coming over for the PFL looked unstoppable thus far. She's won, I guess, three straight right now, but two in the UFC. How do you see this one playing out?
I couldn't disagree with what you said more about Juliana Pena. I think she fucking sucks. I don't think she's very
Really?
good. I'm not a Juliana Pena fan. I don't see her winning a round in this fight. I think if Amanda Nunes, which she did take her seriously the second time, that was a beatdown. I am incredibly low on Juliana Pena.
The disrespect we're throwing out right now, dude. I love this because I'm on the other side. I'm taking the dog. You know, I
Oh,
I I believe plus 525. I mean, long shot. Vegas sees it that way, long shot. But you know, Kayla Harrison, she's looked fantastic up to this point. But you got to remember, before she got to the UFC, she lost a fight to God, I'm blanking on her name right now. I literally just looked it up. What's her name? PFL superstar Larissa Pacheco.
oh.
She got outdogged. I mean, when she doesn't have her way, and I think Juliana Pena is a better grappler than any, obviously Holly Holm, even Ketlin Vieira. When she doesn't have her way, she's not very pretty on the feet, and she's going through a massive weight cut. To go 5 rounds, I mean, she struggles to get, she always fought 145. She struggles to get to 135. This is the first time she's going to have to make championship weight. She doesn't get that extra pound. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you are a wrestler, you cut weight. Pounds matter, right?
Hmm. They definitely do. Definitely do.
And Kayla Harrison notoriously struggles with this weight cut. I just think through 5 rounds, Juliana Pena is going to be hard to finish. I think the later round, she might just be able to dog her out.
I am on the opposite side. I think Kayla Harrison is going to absolutely dominate this fight from start to finish. The little nugget, they did a grip strength thing. Grip strength is a big thing in grappling. She has almost 15 pounds more grip strength than Juliana Pena does. I
I
don't think
don't, I
Juliana's
don't
get.
believe in that
I don't
grip
think
strength
Juliana's
thing.
going to be able to get free. I have Kayla Harrison by submission plus 140.
I'm flat out money line plus 525. We're going all dogs here. I'm going dogs down the card.
Hey, hungry
Not
dogs
really.
run faster.
Not really. But uh yeah, should be a good. I mean, if nothing else, the press conference is going to be fantastic. Again, I think Juliana's a dog. I think regardless, she'll make it interesting. Um, but
I'm
Vegas sees it
excited.
your way big time.
I'm excited for the Kayla Harrison Amanda Nunes fight.
That is good. That is hanging over the balance on the back end of it. And you're right. I would rather see Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes than I would Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes three. So,
It's gonna have to be
silver
a big
lining
fight.
there.
It's gonna have to be a big fight to get Amanda back down to that weight. I mean, she's not gonna cut weight for a no-name fight, and I don't see the Juliana Pena fight really motivating her that much. That fight was ugly.
Apparently, she's going to be sitting cage side. So, whoever gets the mic afterwards, you better call her the fuck out. I don't always like when they bring them into the cage, um, but sometimes it's good. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if they brought Amanda Nunes into the cage. Actually, at co-main, probably not. Mario Batista patchy mix. What do you know about this patchy mix guy? Were you familiar with him, or is this something you just kind of did some research in after he got signed to the UFC?
I wouldn't say I was overly familiar with Patchy's game. I definitely had heard, his name comes up.
It's like a name you hear,
Hmm.
but
Uh, with the PFL, you don't. I'm not a big PFL guy. But
he
he
never actually
definitely.
even fought in PFL, believe it or not.
Oh, okay. Then Hey, clearly I'm not familiar with
I
this
mean,
game.
Bellator, PFL are the exact same thing, but
Hmm.
uh, that's kind of the gripe of Patchy Mix is the PFL couldn't get him a fight. He had that connection happened, I don't know, a year and a half ago, and he never fought. So keep going. Sorry. That
Yeah,
was
no,
a
you're good.
pointless fucking blurb there.
You're good. You're good. As of late, people that are coming over to the UFC and getting big fights aren't really doing well. The last person to come over and, really make a name for himself from the PFL, I believe, is Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
I mean, Pitbull got slept, or he didn't get slept. He lost a
MVP
fight.
beat Kevin Holland. Pitbull didn't look great.
No, and then the people they bring over from other countries don't really look great. Patchy's a really good fighter. This is a huge step up for Patchy Mix. I like the kid's game. I struggle to see exactly, how he counters Mario Batista here.
Mario Batista's on a 7 fight win streak. It's the third longest in bantamweight history, believe it or not. Um, if he gets to eight, no, he'll still be behind. It's 9 and 11, Marab and Aljo.
Never forget.
But a tough, yeah, he's a tough cookie. Like ranked number 10, a lot of times when these Bellator or PFL fighters come over, they're running into kind of top five guys. Like Pitbull got Yair Rodriguez. I think he's ranked 3 or 4. Uh, so you'd assume you get a number 10, you're like, all right, this should be this should be easier if he is this Bellator kind of champion. But Mario Batista is not one of those guys. I actually I actually have Patchy Mish by submission. You see Mario get submitted by the likes of Corey Sandhagen back in the day. I know he's gotten better. Maybe this is just me projecting because I think it'd be more fun. Obviously, I'm the fun guy here. You're the smart one. But I also wrote down, don't hate Mario Batista money line. That's plus 154. I don't hate that at all.
That's what I have. Mario Batista money line plus 150. If I think Batista, who is a solid grappler in his own right, would do his best work to keep this on the feet. In which that could be a decision, which is plus 250. But I just have Mario by decision plus 150. You don't get plus money on Mario that often.
Yeah. I just realized I skipped the fight too. Joe Pyfer, Kevin Gastelum. How you feel about the Pipe man? Be Joe Pyfer taking on Kelvin Gastelum. This
Yeah,
fight was supposed to go down in Mexico City a few weeks back. Joe Pyfer got the shits. Had to uh had to switch the dates here, but he's got great hair now. Went to Turkey, got the plugs. You think this is new life? Joe Pyfe coming off of a loss to Jack Hermanson. You think he gets back on track against Kelvin Gastelum? How do you feel about this one?
yeah. First and foremost, Kevin Gastelum's no slouch. He
Yeah,
has he's coming off a win, but he hasn't exactly looked as himself. I mean, he's never gonna, look as good as when he fought Izzy ever.
yeah.
I mean, that was a special
I know it's
performance.
fucking 10 years ago, feels like.
Yeah, definitely. We're old. I don't see. Kelvin Gastelum has to prove something here in my mind. I know Dana and him aren't the best of friends. I do
Yeah.
think Joe Pyfer coming off a nice long rest. I think he's gonna do it right this time, and I have Joe Pyfer by decision plus 150.
I got him by KO plus 250.
Oh,
I say go straight
oh,
for it. Joe Pyfe, I mean, dude's got heavy fucking hands, man. He's got such heavy hands. Kelvin Gastelum, I don't know how much of a difference it makes just because these guys have a very different styles, but Kelvin Gastelum absolutely got freaking worked by Sean Brady. He's coming out of the same camp. So, you know, they've game planned for Kelvin Gastelum before. And that was that was a very easy and dominant win. I think Joe Pyfer does it again. The Philly boy comes through. Again, the hair plugs look fantastic as well. I don't know if you've taken note of them, but he looks
oh, they
great.
do. They do, and I'm really not surprised that you're looking at people's hair surgery there, Brad.
Yeah, oh, 100%, man. I got these sides are coming up bad. It's something I'm aware of it. This is nothing that I don't know. Uh, oh, Joe, I just, yeah, Joe Pyfer got back on track. I just
He
saw
did.
that. Marc
Yeah, he
Andre
did.
Barrio. Not
Yes, sir.
not Jack Hermanson, but wow, these KOs are fucking brutal, man. They are brutal. He's got
They
some
are.
different sort of power. I don't think Kelvin Gastelum's actually been knocked out, if I'm not mistaken. Let me peek at this real quick. He's never been KO'd. 33 years old, younger than I thought, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, you've
I
been
think
doing it for a long
today's
time.
I think tomorrow's the day or Saturday's the day he's gonna get his lights put out. When you're going up against Joe Pife, you always got to think that's an option.
Yeah, definitely do.
Kevin Holland, Vicente Luque. I don't even know what to think about Kevin Holland these days, just because I feel like he just fights for fun. Like, dude's so freaking active. I think this is his fourth fight. This might be his fourth fight this year or third fight this year. So I'm always kind of wins and losses don't seem to matter to him. I always feel weird looking at his fight because I feel like anything could happen. Vicente Luque, He's also had kind of a weird last couple years. He had a fight against Joaquin Buckley where he pretty much looked like he gave up. I think Kevin Holland does this one by decision, but I'm not, again, I don't think he cares if he wins or loses. So I'm not super confident in that pick.
Yeah, I see it the same way you do. I do have Kevin Holland here by decision. Mainly because Kevin Holland, he might not care about wins and losses, but Dana definitely does. You can't keep losing a fuckload of fights and still be in the UFC. That's just not how it works. And I do think he's gonna have to pull out a win here if he does want a nice contract coming up. I know his contract is coming to an end very soon. I think he has one fight left on his deal after this fight. So he is going to have to win if he wants to stay in the UFC and get a nice contract.
And he typically does turn back older dudes. Vicente Luque being that. I mean, we saw him win against Gunnar Nelson. Um, his losses was to like Rainier Day Ritter, and I guess he lost to Roman Dolidze, but he's back at 170 here, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. Vicente Luque's 170,
I do believe.
which I think is the better weight class for him. Yes, 170 welterweight. I think is the better weight class for him. And, not a huge, they're both talented on the ground. You think this one plays out on the feet. Kevin Holland's got such long arms and he does have heavy hands. So I got him by decision here. Do you have anything else on this card that you wanted to go through? Any hot picks that you're feeling?
I do think Batista is getting disrespected. I don't remember that fight. Who he's fighting offhand,
Mario Batista?
or not Batista. I apologize. Let me scroll. Oh, Buena Silva fighting Josh Van. Buena Silva's
Mm,
plus 450. Josh Van did has looked good in his last few fights, but
God, he's
I
so
mean,
sharp.
yeah, Bruno Silva's no slouch. Minus 700 just seemed like a crazy number to me. I do think Josh Van wins the fight, but I mean, let's not pretend like Bruno Silva is a slouch. Like Josh
Yeah.
Van is on the come up, but Bruno Silva is a dog.
Yeah, he got pieced the fuck up by Manel Cop. Um, but I don't know if Josh Van is that talented or hits that hard.
I know Josh
But
Van
plus 700
close.
or 700 favorite is a wild fucking number.
Yeah, I know Josh Van
It's
can struggle to close out fights, and Mario Batista is a
yeah.
danger, or not Mario Batista. I keep saying that. Bruno Silva is a dangerous wounded animal. So that could definitely be something to look at. Obviously, I have Josh Van here. I think he is incredibly sharp because he is definitely his
Yeah.
striking's vastly improved. But that was just some wild disrespect to my boy.
Oh, big time Bruno Silva rider, huh? Or Bruno, what is his name? Bruno Silva?
Yeah,
You
I
you
just
keep you keep making me think Mario Batista. My whole fucking mind is fucked up.
I know mine's fucked up too. I don't think he's gonna win the fight, but minus 700's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like
crazy.
that was like John Jones Stipe, and like they were putting Stipe out to pasture to shoot him. Like,
Bantamweight in focus this week. Did you hear about the newest bantamweight in the UFC?
are we talking
Goes
Aaron
by the
Pico?
name. No, sir. Goes by the name of Bryce Mitchell. Drop
Okay,
down to bantamweight is going to be taking on Saeed Nurmagomedov, just outside of the top 15. What do you think happens with Bryce Mitchell? Is he going to get some new life at bantamweight? I can see you're just hearing the news now. What
that
do you
is
think happens with Bryce Mitchell?
I um I'm trying to put my thoughts together. I don't know if cutting extra weight gets rid of witches hexes. I don't know exactly how that works. I'm not a big witch hex guy knower, but I didn't. He wasn't small at his weight before, so going down to 135 is going to be a very difficult weight cut. He's not going to be. I don't know if you even rank him at bantamweight as far as
He's got
talent
an
goes.
unranked fight. He's got an unranked fight against Saeed Nurmagomedov, who I think I mean, his last fight was against Vinicius Oliveira, who's 15 right now. So he's probably right outside of the top 15. But even off that fight win, he's not going to get I don't think he's going to get a ranking.
Yeah, I don't know why he would do that. 45 is a much like less
Probably because
loaded
people have been
weight.
putting his fucking lights out at 45. I mean, I have
Yeah.
a feeling that has something to do with it when you get fucked up by, I guess, Silva subbed him, but I mean, beat his face in. Same with Ilya Taporia and
Josh Emmett?
who Josh Emmett really put his lights out. I don't think he can take the punches up there. I mean, those
No.
are all three of those guys are heavy, heavy hitters.
Uh-huh.
Bantamweight doesn't necessarily. I mean, you look at the top of the division. Piotr Jan's not putting a lot of people's lights out. Corey Sandhagen, Umar, Marab's definitely not. I mean, Sean O'Malley is your heavy puncher there, so maybe he can impose a little bit more of his game. But I just thought that was interesting. Him going down to 135. I think it's. I mean, you got to do something at this point.
You
But
do. It is incredibly interesting. I don't think it's going to be great for him. I mean, yeah, he might not get knocked out as much until he fights like a Song Yadong
oh
or,
yeah, Song's another heavy hitter. Forgot about him.
with somebody with fucking awesome hands. I just don't think he can win. And I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to get a ranking anytime soon. He would have to drastically improve his like former fighting results if he wanted to be even in consideration for rankings at 135. 135 might be the deepest weight class in the UFC, and the UFC don't fuck around.
Yeah. We like you said off the top, man. We have a list of fights coming up. Big fights. Usman versus Buckley coming up first, June 14th. We're in the hot take section here. You know what to do. Just fire off. How you feeling about this one? Usman versus Buckley, too old. Buckley too good. What are you feeling?
I think Kamaru Usman is too old to continue to fight in the UFC. I think he can't walk up or down stairs correctly. You probably shouldn't fucking fist fight people for a living. That being said, Kamaru Usman's an awesome fighter, and
Yeah.
Yoquan Buckley is on the come up right now. This is actually a fight that I'm very excited for, to see if Kamaru still has anything left in the tank. Because I mean, like, I
Yeah.
don't know that
It
after he
feels
got,
like
yeah.
it feels like there's a changing of guard going on in the welterweight division. Of course, we saw Bilal lose, Leon lose, Kamaru Usman's there. It feels like a changing of the guard here in the welterweight division. But I mean, Kamar's last fight was against Hamzat Chimaev, and he looked pretty dang good. So that was also like on 9 days' notice short. I if there's life left, I think this may be one of the last ones where there is life. But Joaquin Buckley's been on a tear. I mean, the thing he did to Wonder Boy, he pieced up Kobe to the point where the doctor had to stop it. I mean, he's looked like a bad motherfucker as of recent. I think he's going to get that one done. I think, like I said, just the changing of the guard here in the welterweight division, but still should be a good fight.
Yeah, I'm excited
After
about that.
that, Hill versus Roundtree. This is going down in Azerbaijan. Hill coming off the loss to Yuri Prohaska, and Alex Pereira taking out Khalil Roundtree in his last bout. You think who's getting back on the right track here?
That's an awesome fight that I'm actually thrilled for. I do give the slight edge to Khalil Roundtree because he does have a chin. If he still has it after fighting Alex Pereira, we'll see. Most people
Yeah,
tend to not have the same chin they used to, unless your
yeah.
name's Sean Strickland, I guess.
Uh,
But um, I love this fight. This fight is not going to the ground. This fight is going to be a stand
no,
and bang. Jamal Hill is not scared to put it all on the line. Someone's going to sleep. I give the edge to Roundtree. He's just a more well-skilled,
technical.
well-rounded,
Yeah.
more technical fighter.
I remember before our Yuri Roundtree fight, or sorry, our Yuri Hill fight, I was hyping up the high level skill of Jamal Hill, and it did not go my way. Uh, So I don't think I'm going to make that mistake this time. Khalil Roundtree is a sharpshooter, and if he can avoid the big power, I think he gets it done. And he did look good again. I mean, he had moments against Alex Pereira, which is
Yeah.
impressive, especially with as high level of a striker as Alex Pereira is. Um, the big one, we've gone back and forth in the chat about this one. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira, International Fight Week. Who you got?
I'm ready for this to be my first look like a dumbass moment on this fucking show. I don't think Ilya Taporia is that good. I think Ilya
Shut
Taporia.
the fuck up. Let me stop you there. Shut the fuck up. I can take you saying that you think Oliveira wins, but I can't have you saying a guy that went back to back knockouts over two fucking goats. Max Holloway never gets knocked out. Alexander Volkanovski beat that guy 3 times. Ilya Taporia put his fucking lights out in the second round. He put Max Holloway's lights out in the third. You're telling me this guy's not good?
I didn't say not good. I didn't say
You
not
did say
that. I
that.
said not that good.
Oh
I
my
think
God. Here we go. Let me hear
Ilya
it.
Taporia is a victor of circumstance. He fought Volkanovski when Volkanovski was a shell of
What
himself.
can you say about him knocking out Max Holloway coming off of
Moxley
a
just
Justin Gaethje?
he just fought Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje hits harder than maybe anyone. I think he's a victor of
Barely got hit.
circumstance.
He beat the fuck out of Justin Gaethje. Barely got hit.
Max Holloway definitely took big shots in that fight. I think Ilya
He
Taporia
was up
is
4-0, or maybe I think he won that fight 4-1 before knocking him out.
I agree. That did happen. I just think he's a victor
This
of
is
circumstance.
crazy.
I don't see Ilya Taporia being a top three fighter at 155. I think he should have stayed at 145, where he's huge. He can knock people out. They're smaller than him and things like that.
This argument I'll take.
I don't see Ilya Taporia having close to the same success at 155, which it's either 135 or 155 for the deepest weight class in the UFC. And if he somehow does win, he's definitely not beating Poirier, who's not retiring after he wins his next fight.
You don't think so?
No, hell no. Hell no.
I don't know. I saw yesterday he had like a Last Dance mouthpiece. That feels pretty official.
Oh,
You
the
putting
retirement?
Last Dance on the mouthpiece?
The retirement could happen. I could be wrong there, but if the UFC's like, hey, don't retire and we'll totally fuck over Justin Gaethje and give you the title shot instead. If I'm Dustin the Diamond Poirier, I'm like, fuck it. Let's run it one more time. I mean,
You have any worry about Charles Chen? Let's go back to the fight. You have any worry about Charles Chen? I mean, this is a guy that did get dropped by Justin Gaethje. He did get dropped by Dustin Poirier. He did get dropped by Michael Chandler. I mean, if you have worries that he gets dropped here, and I
his
think
chin is
out
yeah.
of those three guys, Ilya's. I mean, you got to admit he's a better grappler than those guys.
Then Justin Gaethje? No, I don't have to admit that.
Who the fuck does Justin Gaethje grapple?
Because Justin Gaethje's a former Division One wrestling All-American.
Here you
Justin
go with this fucking wrestling
Justin
bullshit.
Gaethje is an elite level grappler.
Oh my God. Okay.
Justin Gaethje took down Fiziev 3 times. Fiziev is an excellent grappler.
Let's get back to the guy that we're talking about. Are you worried about his chin?
I am worried about his chin. That's my only worry in this fight. But Charles Oliveira also has elite level striking. He's probably the best jiu-jitsu artist in the UFC. I don't see why this fight he'd spend that much time on the feet. I think you'd take him down, choke him, go on to the next thing. I don't really see this fight going over, definitely not going over 3.5 rounds.
I mean, Charles Oliveira just had a pretty competitive fight with Michael Chandler. I mean, if we're just being honest about it, he just had a pretty competitive, not maybe not competitive's the wrong word there, but he just had his last performance was not stellar.
I
He's
wouldn't say it
getting
was A
older.
plus.
Yeah, he's getting older. I definitely think there's a path to win here. The only thing that I think about this fight is Charles Oliveira typically is a guy on the front foot. Ilia Topuria likes to be that same guy. I said this before the Max Holloway fight with Ilia Topuria. Like I think the bull wins. I think whoever can put X on the back foot, and maybe Charles can use that length to do that. But it is something that is a little untested here in the UFC is Ilya's actual grappling. I think he gets more credit than maybe he deserves for his grappling prowess. We haven't seen a ton of it. I mean, he did a little bit of grappling against Bryce Mitchell, of course, submitted him, but that came after Bryce had actually taken him down. He did a little bit of grappling against Josh Emmett. I just don't think there's a huge sample size where Charles Oliveira is obviously the, you know, reigning submission champion here. But I'm taking Taporia here. I think the run is special. I do not believe that he's not that skilled. I can't believe that even came out of your fucking mouth. I mean, disrespectful after putting two bad motherfuckers' lights out. You're making excuses for him and telling me he sucks.
I mean, hey, listen, Brad, we've done this a lot in this show, and I've said people aren't that good, and then usually they aren't that good.
Do you think Max Holloway beats Charles Oliveira? They're both in the
Uh,
same division now. They're 155. Do you think Max Holloway beats Charles Oliveira?
Probably not. No,
Yeah, I don't think I do either, actually.
no, probably not.
All right. I'll fold to that. I'll fold to that. I'm not going to listen to this fucking slander, but I'll
Hey,
fold to that.
if I'm gonna look dumb on this show, finally, we've been doing this on and off for like a year-ish. That's a fucking stellar run.
That is a stellar run. On the backside of that, Nashville's own Derek Lewis versus Talasan Tejera in only a second fight in the UFC. He's making his main event debut. First of all, Derek Lewis 5 rounds. He probably fucking hates that. I don't think this one's goes to the bell, but what are you thinking in Nashville? Who gets the dub here?
First of all, the level of disrespect the UFC is putting on my name specifically by bringing the UFC to my backyard 10 miles that way and giving me this fucking dog shit.
This
What
is
the
the only
fuck?
dog shit fight of like it's not a dog shit fight, but as a main event, it's pretty fucking dog shit.
The last time
It
I
does
looked, there
suck that
wasn't
it's
even
there.
the card wasn't even all the way planned. There was like two fights on it. And I was excited to go. I was like, Brad, come down, live pod, we'll go. Takes like $400, and I don't want to pay $400 to watch Derek Lewis get knocked out.
God. Holloway versus Poirier 3. It sounds like you're leaning Poirier if you're saying he's not going to retire.
It this is people don't often perform poorly in their retirement fights. You people usually fucking pop the fuck off in their retirement fights.
I think it's 50-50. It depends on who they're facing. I guess depends on how old they are and how good they've looked. Like Anthony Smith is the last retiree I can remember. He just got his fucking shit kicked in by a young Chinese man. I can't
Eh,
I can't remember his name, but he's a savage coming up in the light heavyweight division.
Okay, people that don't need to be taken out to pasture and meet the Lord don't look bad in their retirement fights. I've
Yeah.
been begging Anthony Smith to retire. I've been in his DMs being like, "Hey man, hang him up for 4 years since COVID, maybe." Anthony Smith has been.
You're dropping DMs to these guys? That is
No,
reckless,
no,
brother.
I made that
Okay,
shit
thank
up,
God.
but
Okay, thank God.
no. I think
I
we
do think
see.
it's going to be a good fight, though.
I think it's going to be an awesome fight. I think we see an inspired Poirier. Obviously, they're going to want to make this fireworks. Take my fucking money. I don't
In
care
New
who.
Orleans,
Yeah, take my
I'm
money.
going to
I
be
don't care
with
who
you.
wins.
I'm probably going to ride Poirier just because of the story. I bet with my heart. So, Rainier Day Ritter, last one we're going to talk about. We got a minute 34 left. Rainier Day Ritter, Robert Whitaker. I actually thought this was a pretty interesting matchup. Rainier Day Ritter, I did not give enough credit to. Of course, coming off the big win over Bo Nickel, looked fantastic. But Robert Whitaker, he's been a longtime staple in this 185-pound division. He just picked up. No, I guess he lost his last one to Hamzat Chimaev. But this is going to be by far Rainier Day Ritter's biggest test. The first real test I think he's had before that was Gerald Mearshart, Kevin Holland, and then a pretty untested Bo Nickel. Too big of a step up, or you think he's about that life?
Give me Rainier Day Ritter in under 2.5 rounds by submission. This man's grappling game is better than anything I've seen. That wasn't a fucking Russian. This dude is fucking elite.
I hear you. Well, a fucking pleasure, man. We back at it, back in it. A brand new show. Read between the lines. Throw up the fucking signal, dog. Oh, a lot of people call this the Jeff Hardy. I call it read between the lines, my sir. Pleasure having you as always, Cody. We'll see you on the next one, brother.
Hey, I'll see you in a couple weeks. Peace.